Alright, so this clip is called On Quitting Your Job and Finding Employment. So, I clearly got really bad at continuing to record myself while I was in Australia. I was hoping to do one clip per month. And then December happened and I hated my job and I had decided to quit my job, and then all I wanted to do was either hide under a rock or spend time with my students while I still had them. So I quit my job for any number of reasons, but the biggest reason was that I really didn't feel like I got along well with my coworkers and felt like I could not get along with my coworkers in a different environment that I liked better, where I was getting paid more. So, I was homesick and I didn't really like the environment, and I really didn't like the people I worked with. On the other hand, I loved my students, so nobody should ever get that wrong, because they were by far the best part of my job, and I learned a lot from them, and I got to work with them a lot, so that was great. So then I quit my job, which was really awkward and was a lot of mess, and was a lot of me being like, sorry, I'm leaving, I hate you all. Pretty much almost like that, including an entire day where Ashley and I were just really at our wits' end, and it was one of our students' last days, and we were doing this big trip that was completely unplanned, and I have a friend who has a younger sister who famously on her birthday decided that she wasn't going to do what her mom wanted, and she was like, I'm the birthday girl, because her mom had been telling her all day that she was the birthday girl, so she kind of got to do what she wanted. So I was just punchy at this point, because I was just like, I just have to get through the next week and then I can go home. And so I ran around for a whole day just like in my head being like, I'm the birthday girl, like whatever. And so that helped. So thanks, Meredith. That was helpful for me. So I quit my job and I came home. And it was a charming and balmy tropical 16 degrees when I landed in Denver, which was a very stark contrast from the 95-degree weather I had just left. But it was nice. We are clearly in a drought again. There is no snow on the ground. It's 65 degrees outside today. It's very nice, although very weird. So this is called On Quitting Your Job and Finding Employment, and the reality is that that's actually kind of funny, because you quit your job and you're like, I quit my job! Sucks to all of you who are still employed, and then you get home and you're like, what was I thinking? Although, really, I was thinking that I wasn't making any money, which I wasn't. I was losing money. So at least now I'm sort of making money. So, what has happened in my employment world since I got home is that I work at Gap when I'm in Colorado, and the store that I'm working at is closing. So I have the option to take a transfer and go work at another Gap Inc. store. So that's Old Navy, Banana, Gap, or Athleta for us. So I'm hoping to get a transfer. But the reality of my life is that since I came home from Australia, I've been this total scatterbrained mess. And I think it just all happened really fast, because one minute I was in Australia and the next I was home and the next I was leaving for Seattle, and I sort of forgot to tell my employer that I was going to Seattle. And so I got scheduled and I had to transfer my shifts and on and on. And so I don't think my employer has a whole lot of faith in me, which I'm kind of like, well, sorry, things happen. Whoops. I'm more belligerent than amused about it at this point, because I really, really, really want a job. I really do not want to be unemployed. Yeah. So I'm trying to find a job. Or a second job, or a first job. I'm not sure if I'm trying to find a first job or a second job. Like, maybe I'll get my transfer, so that would be my first job, and then I would maybe look for a second job to actually earn money and stop giving money back to Gap Inc., where I just buy clothes from them all the time. Even though I have no place to put them because my room is bursting at its seams. What I have learned from moving home from college is that you should not move home after going to college, because suddenly you just have tons and tons of shit, and there's nowhere to put it. There's nowhere to put it, so it's just blights everywhere, and it makes me sort of crazy. Also, you should move home from college because you still have your high school decor in your room, and you're like, why are my choir pictures still up? Like, when I would be home for like a month at a time tops, that was fine, but now I'm like, I should really do something about this, but I don't really want to, because it feels like I'm like resigning myself to being home, which I should just do because I'm going to be here at least until August, but whatever. So Yeah, finding employment is unsurprisingly, like, I shouldn't be surprised about this, but it's challenging. It sucks. I hate it. I hate having to find a job. It was so easy when I just could come home and work for the same people all the time. Uh, Not so much anymore. So now I've applied to a Whole Foods, which is like 45 minutes from my house. I applied to Barnes& and Noble, where I had the rudest encounter with their hiring manager ever. She was like, I would have called you if I was interested. And I was like, I don't want to work for you anyway, as it turns out. If that's the way it's going to be, go away. Get off of my phone. I don't like you. So that was an exciting experience. What else have I done? I asked Sur La Table if they were hiring, because who doesn't want to work in a cooking store? Hello. Yeah, so I asked them. They might be hiring in March. I'm looking at maybe trying to apply for a job in a greenhouse, or like a plant store that also has a greenhouse. Depends if they're hiring. I don't know. I don't really know is the answer here. I'm just kind of like, please somebody pay me, please. I'm really nice. I mean, sort of. I'm very professional, at the very least. Please hire me. So, yeah, that's what's going on. Not much else to report here, really. Quitting, finding employment. It sucks. Although I'm glad I quit my job, because I hated my job and I was losing so much money because Australia pays people. And so everything is expensive. But I wasn't getting paid, so it wasn't comparable. It wasn't helping. So I just lost a lot of money when I was there. Which was okay because it was a good experience. But I'm just like, yeah, now I have no money. So the upshot of this story, children, is quit your job if you hate it. But be prepared for the fact that finding employment really sucks. So, especially when you might only be in a place for 6 months. Like, if I would be here for longer, and I don't know because I haven't heard from grad school, so I don't know how long I'm going to be here. If I knew, this would all be a lot easier, because then I'd be able to be like, this is how long I'm here. Don't you want to hire me? Because I'll be here for a long time and you can train me and I'll be really good at it. Like, that would be one thing, but I'm not going to be here. So a lot of people are like, I don't want to invest the time and money to train you if you're going to leave in August. I'm like, I can't really blame you. I wouldn't either. It's good business sense. It just sucks for me. So, yes, moral of the story. Quit your job, but don't if you don't have a lot of good options. AKA, try not to quit your job in this economy. Alright, so that is quitting your job. Have a good day.